piece we are analyzing today represents human nature as it takes place in a village. The village tends to be seen as representing society as a whole. The piece was created by the artist Peter Bruegel. Its name is the Netherlands Proverbs. Bruegel was most famous for his work done in the Renaissance time period. This particular painting was done in the year 1559. The overall style was similar to other works done in the same period. Even the message happened to be similar. Artists in the Netherlands and other nearby locations were also choosing to depict proverbs. The piece of work now lies in a museum in Berlin with other similar pieces of art from the same time period. The painting is 46 inches by 64 inches, or 117 centimeters by 163 centimeters. The painting is oil-based, done on wooden panels, although you could hardly tell as it does not look like it is painted on wood at all. The painting contains a lot of small details. It seems as if it's just a world of chaos, summed into one small village. However, every person and every detail stands for a proverb or expression. For example, the man throwing money into the river is a metaphor for the phrase throwing money out the window. We can see him right here. The painting is not limited to a certain social class. Even though money was the theme in that particular detail, the painting goes as far as to feature even noblemen and clergy, to show that no matter who is represented, we can all have beliefs that tilt us towards the more evil side of the world. Proverbs obviously shows the village painted in a two-dimensional canvas, but Bruegel does an extraordinary job of creating an illusion that we can look out onto this imaginary world without ending. And an example of this is being able to look out onto the sea and it having an illusion of not ending, or the sides of the painting. In other words, he does a great job of creating depth on the canvas. It looks as if we just looked for a bit longer, everyone would start to move and we could see in every direction. Bruegel not only created depth, but also did an excellent job of using a mixture of different types of line work. He used very straight, narrow lines to create the architecture and architectural details, but he did more curved and thick lines to show movement in the humans and animals. As with the lines, the shapes are just the same. He used round shapes to show people in life. He used geometric shapes to show buildings, not to mention the detail he used to depict grass, dirt, and even the movement of water. The painting itself is very dark. I assume this is to show what some would consider an apocalyptic environment, and we can see an example of the darkness with the sun either setting or rising, so it's definitely not daytime. There is shading to add realism, however is minimal due to the aspect of seeming rather dark in the sky. The color choice is very diverse yet universal. You can tell he used a lot of the same paints for many parts of the painting, yet they seem to be colors chosen at random to help the idea of it being a real society. All of these elements together really help create the idea that these are real people in a real village, and it really creates the illusion that they can move at any given second. Due to this, there is so much variety in everything he painted. In a real world, almost no one is doing the exact same thing as someone else at the exact time, and in Proverbs, this also rings true. That being said, no two sides of the painting are the same, meaning it is not symmetrical. Now, although it's mostly shown as being a real setting, the emphasis is most definitely put on people, more so than it would be in a real-world scenario. Bruegel has managed to cram people into almost every inch of this painting. In life, you don't usually walk out your door and see dozens of people doing strange things as the painting shows, although all the people do remain in similar size, no matter what social class, just like in our real world. Not every person is shown outside either. Some are shown through windows or just reaching outside, showing a great relationship between architectural and human, and we can see an example of this as this person is reaching out the window outside. Even some are shown near the water, as the overall setting is shown near an ocean or sea, and we can see this in the boat that would presumably have people on it. Overall, this piece is now one of my favorites. It depicts a message in a way that you must study the painting to see, and I think that is something that modern artists are striving towards, but Bruegel did a phenomenal job at executing. Although the painting is chaotic in a sense, it is rather uniform in making you think that it is a real scenario, while still being able to depict proverbs. I also love to mention, and it doesn't make me feel trapped to one part of the painting as some works tend to do. Overall, I think the painting had a lot of thought and time put into it, and that is what I admire most.